So good morning to one all. So in the previous lectures, we are discussing about the various respiratory therapy equipments. So how what are different respiratory equipments are there. So to give the extra amount of or extra concentration oxygen whenever the patient is needed. Okay. So for that, so there are number of equipments are developed to drive the patients when they are in deficiency of the oxygen. So when the oxygen, the lungs are unable to respiratory respire the oxygen. Okay, so then the oxygen levels are very low. So then so the heart does not supply the properly. Okay, so there is a so the rate of exchange of the gases will be that is oxygen and CO2 will be decreases, and due to that the there is a problem will be occurs for the patient. Okay, so in that the very important thing that is we will consider is the ventilators, so and respirators. So ventilators are used to give the extra amount of the extra concentration of the oxygen to the patient. So whenever the patient is unable to breathe naturally, so we will provide so extra concentration of oxygen to the patient. Okay, so that is done by the ventilation, and you can say it is respirators also. So the both the terms are interchangeable, you can use. So here we can observe. So here we can observe. So what are the ventilators? So ventilators are machines that blow air or air with extra oxygen. Okay, so ventilators are used to blow the air or air with extra oxygen. So they can send the extra oxygen to the patient into the airways and lungs. Okay, so airways is nothing but the air path. So the air passes, how the air passes to the lungs. So that is the trachea, all those the paths, different way. How the air will be flows through the lungs from the nasal point into the lungs, so that we can call it as airways and the lungs. Okay, so it will sense the air or some extra oxygen with air to the lungs. So that is the ventilator purpose. So your airways are pipes that carry oxygen rich air to your lungs when you breathe in. Okay, when we take the breath in, so airways will be carries the oxygen rich air, to the lungs. Okay, so and also they carry the carbon dioxide. So that is we can call it as waste gas. So from the lungs, it will sense outside or breathe out. When we breathe out, the oxygen deoxygenated, that is nothing but the carbon dioxide will carries out. Okay. So here if we observe the picture or figure, here we have a mechanical ventilator. So this mechanical ventilator blows air or air with increased oxygen through tubes into the patient's airways. Okay. So uh, here you have endotracheal tube goes through patient's mouth and into the windpipe, windpipe, and nasogastric tube. So goes through patient's nose and into the stomach. Okay. Uh, and also here, so this is the exhale air flowing away from the patient. This is, and this is the inhale. When inhale, the air will be flows into the his lungs. Okay. So this is nothing but the air flowing to the patient, air flowing to the patient, and this is the flowing out when the exhale. Okay. So when we are sending the air to the patient, so this is the air to the patient. So through the humidifier, which warms and moistens the air. So while we are pumping the extra amount of oxygen with the air, so that air should be humidified and same time it should be warmed. So a small warms and moistens the air. So like that, so there is a setup will be there. Okay, so that ventilators will provide the required um, uh, humidification and warmness of the air. So which is suitable for the patient's uh, lungs. Like that we can provide the like that we can provide the extra amount of oxygen through gas. With the gas we can send to the patient. So how much amount we should send to the patient? So that should be depends upon so three types of methods. So how much amount we should have to send, and how much pressure we have to send, and how much time we have to send. So we should not send. You should not send continuously. So you have to send at a particular, depending upon the patient's condition, we have to pump the air by using ventilators. So that depends upon the how much volume of the air should be sent, and how much time we have to send, and how much pressure we have to send. So these three parameters, based on that these parameters we can send the pump the air to the lungs of the patient. So based upon that these three variations, three types, so there are three types of ventilators can be developed. Okay, the amount of the amount of pressure we are applied. So based upon that we can develop a ventilator, that is nothing but pressure cycle development, pressure cycle ventilators, and the predetermined volume. So how much volume of the air should be delivered? So based upon this particular mode, so it will be acts as an volume cycled ventilators. Volume cycled ventilators. Similarly, the air or oxygen has been applied for a predetermined period of time. So for a given period of time, we have to send. So how much time we have to send? So that depend upon time, the ventilator will be sends the air. Okay. So in if suppose this is the if this is mode you can operate, so then it is a time cycle ventilators. Okay. So there are three types of modes of operations of the ventilators. So one is pressure cycle ventilators, volume cycle ventilators, and time cycle ventilators. Pressure cycle ventilators, volume cycle ventilators, and time cycle ventilators. So based upon these three parameters, the ventilators can be operated. So this is we are seeing. So this is pressure cycle ventilator. So so for this we have to measure the how much pressure we are going to send, and we have to control the pressure, how much pressure we are sending. Okay. So thus will be done by using these pressure cycle ventilators. And second one is the volume cycle ventilators. So in this volume cycle ventilators, the depending upon the piston and bellows, which dispenses the amount of the pressure, this much amount of volume of the pressure. So bellows are having certain volume, okay, and also pistons. So piston operated by operating piston. So we can allow the suppose we have in a cylinder. In a cylinder we have a piston. Suppose when we piston will be pushed completely downwards, okay, so the pressure inside the piston will be the pressure inside the piston will be pumped completely. Suppose we are operated up to certain 50%, so then the piston will be operated at 50% only. So when we will make it to maximum position, so then it is 100%. So by depending upon the amount of the piston operated, so from 0 to 20, 20 to 25, like that, percentage of opening and closing. So from that we can allow the air to passes out, and that will be connected to the patient. So how much volume of the pressure we have to send. Similarly, we have bellows. So bellows also will be having certain volume. So, so we can apply the depending upon the requirement of the patient. So how much so here, so depending upon that volume, so that depends upon the volume requirement of the patient. So that much of amount of volume of the pressure we have to send. Air will be sent. Okay, and so in this volume cycle ventilators, we can also use the spirometer to observe the breathing process, the different lung systems, lungs or volumes of the patient can be monitored. Because it is related to the volume of the pressure sending to the patient. So that's why it is required to so also observe the different volume lung volumes. So what is the capacities of the lung should be observed. For that we have to connect this spirometer with this ventilator system. So the next one is humidifiers. Humidifier. So humidification of the air. So already you know that humidification. So, so in order to prevent damage the patient's lungs, the air or oxygen applied during therapy should be humidified. So in the winter season we have due to the water moisture present in the air. So we are feeling that. So the air we are inhale and exhale should be humidified. So due to the water content present in the air, so should be having higher humidification. So in summer, so the water content will be decreases in the air. Water content decreases in the air because the hotness, because of the hotness, so the water content of the air will be decreases. So when we are breathing that hot air, so that becomes as hot air. So when we are breathing that hotted air or warm air, so we will get infected. So because, so due to the, so this humidification will makes the lungs will be operate properly. Okay, so to make lungs walls are humidification. Okay, so lung walls should be having moisture. So when it is also dried, so then what happens, there is a exchange of the airs will be, gases will be difficult. Okay, that's why in winter some people will be falls down due to sunstroke. So due to some sunstroke, what happens? The air will be, hot air will be goes inside. So due to proper uh, moisture content is not there, so they will be most affected. So like this, we have some problems in the winter. Sorry, some problems in summer. So humidification is also very important. Okay. So that's the which virtually all inhalators, ventilators, and respirators include equipment to humidify the air. Okay. So virtually, or we can say or not. So when we are manufacturing a ventilator, it already presents the humidifier inside. Okay, we don't have the separate section. Okay, so all the ventilators and respirators and inhalators must present the humidifier inside. Okay, humidifier equipment should be present, and that humidification will be done by two methods. So that one is heat vaporization. Okay, and another is the bubbling an air stream through a jar of water. Okay. So one is heat vaporization. So by heating the water, so we can get the steam. Okay. So that steam will be sent. Okay. And similarly, bubbling an air stream through a jar of water. So so, so we'll get some bubbles while we are heating. Okay. So from that we will generate the stream. So by these methods, we can produce the humidification of the air which we have to send. The second one is nebulizer, and this is another one. So nebulizer. So nebulizer is nothing but it is also a type of the um, sending the air with some aerosol. So it is also we will mix the medicines. Some medicines will mix in the water in the as the form of the aerosol. So it will be also a small particles of the medicine will be formed as a form of the aerosol. Okay. So spray, when you spray the water, so the bubbles will be like, I mean, the dots will be comes. Okay. When you spray, so okay, that type of the formation is considered as a aerosols. Okay. So here the air will be, here the medication is suspended in the inspired air as an aerosol. So we will mix the medicines with the water. Okay, and that water will be sent to the patient as a form of the aerosol, and that particular one is called as nebulizer. So you can observe a small kids in the hospitals. So that will be happens in the winter, especially in winter, so the small kids also putting these nebulizers. So due to heavy heavy water content, suppose if you walk in the winter, in the uh, heavy winter, so you will get blockage of your lungs. So because the more water present in the air will be blocks your lungs, and due to that what happens, the the uh, the the air paths will be blocked. So to forcibly to recover that airways, to the wave which is blocked, the paths which are blocked completely, so to open, so we have to apply the air forcibly. And while while sending that air, we have to using some medications, some medicines. And by using that medicines, so that particular the blocked areas or the air, the water content may be reliefs. And in such situation, the the water content maybe changes. So due to that, so there is some blocks which are there, so those to be recovered. And after applying this nebulizer, you can get the free breathing. So that's why our parents are saying that don't go for the uh, winter season, heavy winter season. Okay, so these are very very important things. So in this the nebulizer, the very thing that is one type of the nebulizer, that is nothing but the ultrasonic nebulizer. So in the ultrasonic nebulizer, so this will be used to produce the ultrasonic sound, and that ultrasound wave energy is applied to the water or medication. So what is the medicines we are applying? Those medicines is suppose we are applying some medicine. So when we apply the ultrasound medicine, so those when we apply the ultrasound to the medicine, that energy will be makes absorbed by these small particles of the medicine. And when it will be enters into the lungs, so it will be makes forceful force, it will apply force on the where the blocks will be there. So you can understand, suppose we have a ultrasound energy, so that ultrasound energy is applied to the applied medicines. So what we are mixed in the nebulizer, medicines will be mixes. Okay, when we mix the medicine, those small particles will be absorbed this ultrasound energy. When we send this small particles forcefully to the lungs of the patient, so then what happens, this due to this energy, it will makes collisions with the blocked areas, and due to that, so there is a clearance path will be obtained. So that's why we can use the ultrasound energy, ultrasound nebulizer. So in the ultrasound nebulizer, we have two parts. So one is source, ultrasound source. Okay, so which will generate the radio frequency current. Okay, which generates the radio frequency energy, and that radio frequency signal or current will be applied to a transducer. Okay, a radio frequency generator will be there. That radio frequency generator will generate the radio frequency signal. Okay, it is high frequency signal. High frequency signal is high frequency signal is means it is producing a small time period. That is radio frequency. You can use the radio frequency signal. So radio frequency signal is in terms of megahertz. In terms of megahertz, we can produce. Megahertz frequency is nothing but the time period is very low. Okay, so it will producing the voltage is very rapid way. Okay, that pulses will produce in very rapid way, and those high frequency signal is applied to the transducer. So when this transducer will converts this radio frequency signal into the corresponding ultrasound signal, and that ultrasound signal is applied to the this medication. So what we are used in the system. Okay, and due to that, the energy from the transducer is transferred to the small particles, that is we can call it as a aerosol, is applied to the aerosol, and when we apply this uh, water or this aerosols, so that will be makes clearance of the lungs. So like this nebulizer will plays a very important role in clearance of the lungs. And the next one is aspirators. So aspirators or other types of suction apparatus are often included as a part of the ventilators or inhalators to remove mucus and other fluids from the airways. So suppose in some situations we can have a mucus in the lungs, airways of the lungs. So we have some mucus. So to remove that mucus, okay, so we can use this aspirators. So it will provide a suction pressure. Okay, so by providing suction, when we connect to the this to the mouth, okay, so it will be provides suction pressure, and due to that, if there is any mucus or some any unwanted material will be present in the airways, that will be removed. Where the respirator is not provided as a part respiratory therapy equipment, a separate suction devices may be utilized. And this aspirator is also as a part of the ventilators. As a part of the ventilators, they will be fixed. If it is not provided with that ventilators, you have to use separate suction devices. Okay, you have to use separate suction device to remove some unwanted mucus. Okay, some unwanted materials which are present in the airways, air pathways. Okay, so in air pathways, we can, if you remove something blockages, so all those things you should be done by this aspirators and should be cleared by the nebulizers. So by forcefully applying the pressure, so that will clears that path. Suppose any unwanted mucus or something unwanted material which will be attached to the airways or air passages, that can be by suction process we can remove. Okay, all these things are okay. Like this, we have different uh, respiratory therapy equipments. So the first one is inhalators, inhalators, ventilators and respirators, humidifiers, nebulizers and aspirators. So these are the respiratory therapy equipment. These are the different respiratory therapy equipments which are used to provide the extra amount of the oxygen, or to remove the any blockages present in the airways. Like this, different therapy should be, respiration therapy should be done by using these equipments. Okay. So with this, you have any doubts or clarifications, you can ask. So please wait, don't go away. So taking the attendance is one of the important thing. We will not take the attendance, it may be considered as not deliver the lecture. Okay, just please wait. Okay, so in the, with this discussion, so we are completed the mechanics of the respiration system and different measurement systems of the respiration system. What are different types of measurements? Okay, what are the physiology of the respiration system? What are the main parts of the lungs? Okay, and how the oxygen and how the gases will be exchanges the lungs. Okay, and what are different types of lung volumes and capacities. Okay, and different measurements. Different instruments are used to measure these lung volumes and capacities. That is nothing but the spirometers. So different types of spirometers are discussed, and also so we analyzed the spirogram. So and also we have discussed about measurement of residual volume, airway resistance measurements, and also discussed about the res respiratory therapy equipment. Okay. So with this in the third unit, we are completed the measurements of the respiration system. The measurements in the respiration system. So from tomorrow, so we will see the patient care monitoring, patient care and monitoring. How we should take the caring of the patient, which is the person who is having in a uh, ill ill patient. That means he is having so much of problems. Maybe like having, suppose if you have done a surgery, so after return from the surgery, we have to observe the condition of the patient. So what is the pressure and what is the temperature? So all these factors will be, we have to monitor and we have to take care of the patient, and that information should be sent to the doctor. And for that, the nurses, the nurses will be present and they will be take care continuously, and they will be informed to the doctor time to time. Okay. So and also if the situation is changing, so what type of the care we should have to take? If the heart rate is exceeding its normal rate, so how we have to uh, decrease the heart rate. So the BP rate is increasing. So due to some patients unawareness, maybe some tensions, so the BP rate maybe increases. In such situation, how we can decrease that BP rate? So for that, what type of the medicines we have to our doctor should be give, and all those things uh, should be analyzed. Okay, and similarly, so what are the different equipments should be present in intensive care unit? So intensive care unit, so different types of equipments. So to read the heart rate of the patient continuously, so that is ECG. To read the pulse rate, so oxygen pulse rate, oximeters. So those oximeters will be connected to the uh, uh, ending of the fingers. Okay, and continuous monitoring of the blood pressure. Okay, and all these equipments will, all these measuring instruments are should be present in the intensive care unit. And similarly, the number of,
Display కనపడలేదు సార్.
hello. Similarly, we have to provide the oxygen connections. Suppose suddenly the oxygen of the patient will decrease, so we have to provide oxygen cylinders and oxygen lines. Okay, so like this, we have to provide the different care units. Okay, and we have to monitor the using those obtained waveforms. We have to analyze. So what types of recorders will be there? What are the different type of displays are there? So all those will be learned. So that is nothing but CRTs, and we can also display that values in terms of the uh, digital waveform, digital signals. So those obtained signals will be converted into digital form, and that digital signals will be displayed in the display section, digital displays. Okay, so like this we have number of uh, care. Okay, patient care equipments will be there. Okay, and those should be monitored continuously. So monitoring is also important. Okay, based upon that we can save the number of patients life. Okay, so that will be see in the coming lectures. So if you have any doubts or clarifications, so up to now we can. Okay, with this I am closing this session. Okay, thank you all.